Welcome to Charleston, North Carolina, guys. Alfred Montaner here, the food boat. And we got Fred Neuville who's going to cook this giant swordfish. Are you guys ready for some amazingness?
I think so.
All right, I want to eat it already. Let's go. What do we got to do?
So what we're going to do is we're going to break this swordfish down. It's a beautiful fish. Before we take him down, I always believe in beginning with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is we have a couple of things that we need to prep before we break him down and before we cook up a little bit of this swordfish, this beautiful swordfish. This baby is fresh. You can tell. Look at all that. That is beautiful. I mean, he's just right out of the water. So what you want to do is you just want to rinse him off a little bit. Give him a nice bath. My heart's racing. This is such a beautiful fish.
It is. You know what? And the best thing about it is so many people are going to enjoy this fish.
How does that eye look, Fred? Does that look fresh?
Yes.
Is that a nice eye?
That is a nice translucent eye.
Because, Alfred, I don't know if you've seen the video.
The cloudy eye video. Of course I saw that video. I'm like a down low fan of Fred. Come on, man. Stop. You're putting me out there, Derek. Right.
So what we're going to do, we're going to remove the tail, we're going to remove the head, we're going to remove the dorsal fin, and then we're going to break them down. Swordfish have 4 loins. They have the belly, they have the top loin, and then they have a bloodline that runs right through the middle. So first what we're going to do is we're just going to take the tail off, and what I want to do is I want to get in between the cartilage. Yeah, there you go. I got it right there. Okay? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the head off this guy, and you can tell the eyes. Look how clear the eyes are. That is just beautiful. You can also eat the eyes. I've never eaten the eyes.
Oh, they do it they do it in Miami all the time.
Right. So we're going to take the head off. We took the tail off. We're going to take the head off, and now we're going to, let me get my other knife here. And we're going to, so you got to find that cartilage again. There you go. Let me flip him over. You can use it as a soup, but I wouldn't put too much. You know, whenever I bone a fish, I use the whole thing. You use the skin, you use the bones, you use everything to make a stock with, a fish broth. But with a swordfish, I wouldn't do that, just me personally, because it's a little oily. So you don't want that as a base for your sauce. So now I'm going to take what we call the collar, which is right here. You can feel that. It's real hard. The collar that wraps around the head, we're going to take that off. And you just follow it. Follow that bone.
So looking at the actual meat on the fish, you can see how fresh it is.
Oh, look at that.
It's
I mean, that's sashimi quality. Who caught this? What boat? Do you know?
The LNG, Will Cox's boat.
Oh, nice.
Young's Island Fish Company.
Nice. See, so I'm going to get right there in the cartilage again. There we go. Look at that, right there. That's beautiful. That is what you call a jello shot. I'm going to take the dorsal fin off next. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to break them down into loins. Whenever you're deboning anything, what you want to do, and I'll flip this around and show you, is follow the bone, follow the skeleton structure, the skeletal structure. Swordfish the skeletal structure is very delicate, so you don't want to cut through it because you cut through the loin. So you got to be very, very careful with that. So I'm going to switch my knives to accommodate this. This is a boning knife. Now when I'm getting into the middle of the fish, you gotta watch out because the spine, score it right like that. See what I'm doing there? As I'm using my knife, I'm also using the weight of the meat to help me. See? Using the weight of the meat to help me break it down.
Wow.
Look how beautiful that is. Now we're going to do the same thing. Come in from the back side. Come straight on down. So the very first time I filleted a fish, I was 18 years old, and I was in culinary school. And the chef said, "Ah, Fred Neuville, you French guy, huh?" I'm like, "No, sir. No, my heritage is French, but I am not French." He said, "Ah, well, you were the poissonnier today." Poissonnier means I got to cut the fish. So I cut the fish, and there was a salmon. I was filleting him up, and I went like this, and I went right through the center of the fish, destroyed the fillet. So I looked around, and I said, "Anybody got fish glue?" Everybody laughed. They said, "No, but you're washing the trash cans tonight." He wasn't too happy with me. There we go. Look at that. That's beautiful. And I will just cut that off right there. Okay, so now that we have all of our loins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fiber off the belly. That's the sinew that's on the belly. It's pretty tough. What we're going to do is, you see this? This is called the bloodline. This is extremely fishy. So whenever you cook swordfish, you always want to make sure that you get all that out. I would need it. It's very fishy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it out. All right, so we got the bloodline out of that guy. We're going to get the bloodline out of this one, and then we're going to break him down, take the skin off, steak him up. Swordfish is very healthy for you. It's got a lot of omega-3s, which helps with blood pressure and high cholesterol, but it's also high in mercury, so they say don't eat a whole lot of it, but there we go, that's good enough. We can scrape that out. Yes, sir. Best seafood in town. So one time I was doing a wedding, and they wanted a whole fish. So I decided I was going to do a whole swordfish. I started thinking about it, and I'm like, how am I going to cook this whole swordfish? So I found a guy that made smokers out of propane tanks, old propane tanks on Dorchester Road. So I went and bought one for $1,000. Put the swordfish in there.
You bought it for $1,000, and the actual,
just to do the wedding.
Yeah, the wedding was probably $800.
Yeah.
You're like, but I got a new smoker.
I got a new smoker out of it. Sorry, honey.
Yeah, I'm good at business, babe.
Right.
Trust me.
Right.
I'm looking long term.
This wedding, we lost money, but I got a smoker out of it.
Yeah.
So,
that's funny.
Fish came out great. Yeah. Well, I didn't tie the sword down on my way to the wedding. So I'm driving, and I got my buddy behind me who's helping me out for this wedding, and he calls me and says, Chef. I'm like, what? The sword fell off the fish. I'm like, oh, no. So I stopped, pulled over, picked it up, got it to the wedding, and put the fish on the board. And I got some swordfish glue and glued the sword back on there.
Swordfish glue, they don't know about that. We're gonna skin it now?
We're gonna skin it. So this, the skin, you could cook with it. You could cook with the skin on. The skin will fall off after you cook it, or you can skin it and not worry about it. So you see how tough that is. I shouldn't have sharpened my knives before, huh? All right. Now you see how that's taut. So I'm pulling it, and now all I have to do is just slide my knife, and hopefully I get it all. You want to keep it taut. Makes it a lot easier. There you go. Okay, so for grilling, you want a nice thick steak. So you want them about an inch thick, inch and a half thick. And the reason is because if you cut them thin, then they'll cook quick and dry out. Swordfish has a very high fat content. That's why they taste so buttery. But you're cooking them thick on the grill because that's dry heat. I'm going to be cooking them in a pan, which is moist heat. I'm going to be sauteing them. So I'm going to be cooking them in oil. So that's about an inch. That's an inch. That's an inch thick. That'll grill up real nice.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Real nice. I mean, even with that, this meat is just...
You guys got this down in Florida? No, this was Young's Island. Oh, okay. This is Young's Island Fish Company. Okay.
This is the first fish I've ever filleted.
I think so.
It somehow came perfect.
I know.
Right? It's like great. And
Now I'm cutting that belly meat off. I'm not going to throw it away. We're actually going to use the belly meat in our recipe that we're going to cook for you, the Swordfish Piccata.
Yeah, I saw that on the menu. That's got me excited. That's good.
you want to try a little piece? Sashimi? You want to? Let's go.
I'll cut some off for you. Here.
We'll get, I guess, a little bit.
Let Keaton get the Jello shot.
You want the Jello shot?
Yeah, you want the Jello shot of the sea?
You can just taste it.
You want to
Huh?
taste it?
You know, it's beautiful.
Keaton, I saw you on the food boat. You're not
Look.
important on the food boat. This
not
is
playing
your
with
moment to shine.
I've been abused enough by this guy. I want about to step into that.
Come on.
I'll try it.
Hold on.
It's good.
Yeah, I have a standing rule: never do what Derek tells you.
Well,